Will downtown Toronto ever recover from this crash or not? Today we are addressing a pressing concern in Toronto's real estate market, the significant downturn in the condo prices, which have plummeted back to 2019-2020 levels. But we have seen also, as Mark is going to mention later on, we have also seen some one-off sales that the prices went back to 2017-2018 prices, but they were one-off sales. Like the average price, if we are looking at the average price right now, the average price is similar kind of to what it was around 2020. So this sharp decline has raised alarm bells among the investors and homeowners alike. So that led to question, will downtown Toronto ever recover from this slump or not? In this video, we'll analyze data from the Toronto Real Estate Board spanning from 2016 to 2025, exploring the factors contributing to this market. You may ask who we are to talk about this. Mark and I have been running one of the top real estate groups in Toronto, and we have been interviewed by news outlets like Global News, CTV, etc. If at any part of this video the information gets overwhelming, you can book a consultation meeting with us using the link down below. And in order to support us to make more videos like this for you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Let's start with a little bit of background, and I will leave a timestamp in the sections of this video down in the description. So we're gonna go to Mark to tell us a little bit of the backstory.
Yes, so let's start with a decade in review. Toronto condo market trends. To understand the current landscape, it's essential to trace back the trajectory of Toronto's condo market over the past decade. Let's start with 2016 to 2017, which was the initial surge. In the mid-2010s, Toronto's condominium market experienced significant growth, and condos became increasingly popular due to their relative affordability compared to detached homes. By 2017, the average condo price had escalated significantly, with Toronto Real Estate Board reporting substantial year-over-year increases. Just so you know, the average condo at that peak time, which was April of 2017, was $542,000. Moving on to 2018-2019, we saw some market stabilization. Following the 2017 peak, the Ontario government introduced the Fair Housing Plan, aiming to temper the overheated market. The result was a 9% drop in condo price, moving to $500,000. These measures led to a stabilization of prices, and with TREB's data indicating a moderation in the price growth during the period. By the end of 2019, the average price of a condo was about $612,000.
So let's go to 2020 to 2022. So pandemic-induced fluctuations. The onset of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 introduced uncertainty into the market. Initially, there was a dip in the sales and prices. However, as interest rates dropped and remote work became more prevalent, demand for condos rebounded. By 2022, the prices had once again reached new all-time high. Back then, all-time high. With TREB, or Toronto Real Estate Board, reports notable gains in average condo prices. March 2022 was the peak of the market for both condos and freehold homes. At the peak, average condo price in Toronto rose to whopping $808,000. However, that ride didn't last long. Fast forward to 2023 up to 2025, which is the current downturn. Entering 2023, several factors converged to initiate a decline in the condo prices, such as rising interest rates, increased inventory, and shifting buyer preferences have all contributed to this downturn. As of January 2025, which is past January, Toronto Real Estate Board data indicates that the average selling price for a condo is $670,000, which was 1% down compared to a year ago. However, the average price of all home types in the GTA or Greater Toronto area was $1,040,000, which was reflecting a 1.5% increase year over year. As you can see in my charts from 2015, the condo segment specifically has seen a more pronounced correction, with the average prices returning to levels observed in 2019-2020. However, as me and Mark was talking about it, we have seen some one-offs that were selling around like with the prices about 2017 or 2018. So Mark, can you take us through the detailed data analysis?
Yes, certainly. Let's delve into the specific TREB data to illustrate these trends. 2017 peak, we saw the average condominium apartment price in the city reaching significant highs, with TREB reporting substantial year-over-year increases. From 2018 to 2019, we reached a correction. Prices stabilized, with the average condo price experiencing modest adjustments. TREB data from the period shows a cooling in the previously rapid price escalation. In 2022, we saw the peak, and the market saw unprecedented highs, with average prices climbing notably. Treb's reports from 2022 highlight a competitive marketplace with limited inventory driving up the prices. Come to 2025, as of January just last month, the average selling price for all home types in the Greater Toronto Area was $1,040,000. Again, that's a 1.5% increase from January 2024. However, the condominium market experienced very significant correction, with prices reverting back to, as we said, one-off levels we see around 2017 and 2018, an average price around 2019 or 2020.
So you want to tell us about the sales volume?
Certainly. As for the sales volume, we saw in December 2024, Treb reporting 3,117 condominium apartment sales through the MLS system for the fourth quarter, representing a decrease compared to the same time period in 2023. New listings amounted to 8,758, indicating an increase in available inventories. The 2025 forecast, the trend suggests a continued softening in sales volume, with buyers exercising caution with economic uncertainties.
Thank you, Mark, for adding the forecast. So let's go to the next part. In this part, we are going to talk about, or as Mark was calling them, chapter 3, we are going to talk about the factors influencing the decline. So several key factors have influenced this market correction, which the main factor, or the first one, let's call it the first one, it's interest rates. The Bank of Canada has incrementally raised its benchmark interest rate to combat the inflation, leading to higher borrowing costs. This shift has made mortgages more expensive, and that resulted in a dampening buyer enthusiasm and reduced the purchasing power. The next factor was increased inventory. A surge of the new condo developments has led to an oversupply in the market. Toronto real estate data indicates that new listings in the condo segment have increased, which that provided buyers with more options and reduced the urgency to purchase. The next factor is the changing buyer preferences. So the pandemic has reshaped the lifestyle choices, with many buyers now prioritizing larger living spaces or suburban or rural locations over the urban condo apartments. This shift has decreased demand in the condo market. That contributed to a downward pressure on the prices. You can watch my video about the 7 factors that move real estate market here as well. So now we're gonna get back to the $1 million question. Will the downtown Toronto recover or not? In this part, Mark is gonna take us through that question, or an answer to that question.
The pressing question on so many minds is whether the downtown Toronto condo market will bounce back. Several factors will play a role in this recovery. First one is economic recovery. As the broader economy rebounds, employment opportunities and consumer confidence likely improve, potentially increasing demand for downtown living. Also, we will see interest rate adjustments. Should the Bank of Canada decide to lower interest rates in response to any economic conditions, borrowing costs would decrease, making home purchases more attractive. Another trend is urbanization trends. While the pandemic prompted a shift outward to suburban living, urban centers like the downtown Toronto area offer amenities and conveniences that may draw residents right back to it.
In case if you're wondering, I have recorded a video about a long-term bear markets, which is called Death Cross. So you can watch that Death Cross video as well. Now let's go to the next part and talk about Warren Buffett's investment philosophy. Mark is a pro in that. So Mark, can you take us through it?
Sure. Warren Buffett has an investment philosophy. For times of market volatility, it's prudent to consider that there are insights of these seasoned investors like Warren. One of the most renowned principles that he has is be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. This philosophy suggests that market downturns can prevent unique investment opportunities. Applying this to the Toronto condo market, we can see that the market sentiment should fare well. This recent downturn has instilled caution among buyers and concern among sellers. The collective apprehension often leads to undervalued assets, as properties may be priced below their intrinsic value due to the prevailing negative sentiment. This presents an investment opportunity. For investors with a long-time perspective, the climate of caution can present opportunities to acquire properties at discounted prices. As this market stabilizes and recovers over time, these investments may yield substantial returns.
So now let's talk about, is now the time to buy or not? Considering the data and the market sentiment, potential buyers and investors should evaluate their financial preparedness. So ensure that you have a stable financial foundation and can manage potential interest rates fluctuations. It's essential to assess your ability to secure financing under current conditions and to withstand possible future economic shifts. Another thing that you need to know is that you need to have long-term objectives. So real estate investment typically yield the best return over basically extended period of time. So assess whether your investment horizon aligns with the long-term strategy or not. I always tell my clients, if you're looking to invest in real estate, your horizon should be between 5 to 10 years. It has to be a long-term strategy. There is no get-rich-quick scheme in real estate. At least not a legal one that I'm aware of. Another thing is the market research. Make sure you investigate the specific neighborhoods, upcoming developments, and demographic trends to make informed decisions. Understanding the localized market, or we call them micro markets, understanding those localized market dynamics can help you identify areas with the most potential for appreciation. So at the end, the Toronto condo market's reversion to 2019-2020 price levels signifies a substantial market correction, effectively erasing gains from previous peak. While this downturn may cause concern for some, it also aligns with the Warren Buffett's philosophy that Mark just mentioned, that challenging times can offer good investment opportunities. As always, conduct thorough research, consult with financial advisor, accountants, and consider your long-term objectives before making investment decisions.